Hey everybody, welcome back for another shooting edition of SHOREVIEWKEN, and today we're taking a look at what just might be the best shoot 'em up available for the Nintendo Switch right now, and that is Rolling Gunner plus Overpower, which, as the name implies, includes both the original Rolling Gunner, an amazing game in its own right, and the updated Rolling Gunner Overpower, which, if you ask me, is even better than the original, which I thought was a pretty tall order. I was already a fan of Rolling Gunner after playing it at an arcade in Akihabara, but Overpower just blew me away with its sheer awesomeness. So let's get down to brass tacks and see why this is a must-own game if you are indeed a shooter fan. For starters, we have the original Rolling Gunner, which, if you've never played it, is a fantastic shooter. The premise is very simple. It's a straightforward, side-scrolling bullet hell shooter, and the main gimmick to the gameplay is the titular Rolling Gun, a pod that follows your ship's movements and can fire in all directions. It can also be locked into place to focus your fire to a specific section of the screen, or you can use it for a powerful focus shot that slows down your movement speed while increasing your attack power. You also have a power meter at the bottom left of the screen that fills up as you collect medals from destroyed enemies, and when it reaches 1000, you can enter a powered up mode that further increases your attack power and increases your point bonuses. But while in this mode, you build up a second power meter, which then allows you to activate another, even more powerful mode where your attack power and point bonuses go through the roof for a limited amount of time. And of course, what shooter would be complete without a supply of super bombs that annihilate everything on screen? Indeed, when it comes to pure firepower, Rolling Gunner has got you covered, and on top of that, the controls are super smooth, the gameplay is challenging and extremely fun, and you get some excellent retro-inspired visuals and an awesome soundtrack to boot. This is legit one of my favorite shooters to be published in the past 10 years or so, and it's only half of the package here. If you can believe it, this game gets even better when you jump over to Rolling Gunner Overpower. Rolling Gunner Overpower is not an entirely new game, but instead is more of an update, and the changes made were definitely for the better because, in my opinion, Overpower overshadows the original game in almost every way. In fact, the only thing that hasn't had a total overhaul is the visuals. It still looks the exact same as vanilla Rolling Gunner, and you also get the same number of stages, and the enemies haven't changed either. In terms of controls, though, something very cool about Overpower is that it plays as more of a twin-stick shooter, with one thumbstick controlling the ship's movement and the other controlling the position of the rolling gun, and this gives the gameplay a much greater sense of smoothness and ease of control. Also, now your rolling gun acts as a shield that can cancel out bullets that it comes into contact with, and you have a powerful new buster shot that, in addition to dealing some serious damage, also clears away any bullets that it touches, which is extremely useful when the screen starts to fill up with an absurd amount. You no longer have any super bombs in Overpower, which is kind of a bummer. I myself am a big fan of explosions, but it's made up for by giving you a shield meter that allows you to absorb multiple hits before losing a ship, and you can collect power-ups to replenish your shield, as well as an additional power-up that increases your maximum shield, allowing you to absorb more hits, and you still get the power meter system from the original game that grants you some extreme firepower and a whole hell of a lot of bonus points. So in terms of gameplay, Overpower, I feel, plays smoother than the original, and the difficulty is better balanced, and overall, it's a much more fun experience. On top of that, there are a number of different gameplay modes to choose from that can make things either much easier on you or much more difficult, and tying it all together is a revamped soundtrack that once again sounds great. Lots of high energy music to really get you into the action. So it's all positives with this game and this collection as a whole. Two variations of one of the best shoot-'em-ups to be released in recent years make this a shooter that Switch owners won't want to miss. It's definitely one of the best games in the genre to be released for the console, and that covers a lot of ground. It's Rolling Gunner plus Overpower, and it's oh so awesome.
Awesome!